Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to a Safe Space for Men. I'm your host, Ron. I cheese up every time I hear that because like those is my kids and I don't know. They always be walking around the house singing, but I don't know. It's cool as shit to hear them singing on that. But please remember to rate, review, like, and subscribe to the podcast. I truly appreciate it. Please excuse me today. I'm a little under the weather. I'm gonna be sipping on my tea because my throat has been hurting, and a little clogged up. So hopefully I'll be cool by some point tomorrow. It's wetting season for me. I was at a wedding last week, a really, really dope, beautiful wedding. I got my second of three weddings this coming Sunday. A good friend of mine is getting married. It's actually the guy that I was hanging out with a couple weeks ago. Went out of town. So yeah, his wedding's coming up, and then at the end of October, I have my best friend's wedding, which I'm the best man for. I think it's like the 28th, and I gotta fly out to Cleveland for that. So that's gonna be fun. I'm working on a speech. I gotta work on a speech. Uh, Take some time with it. Really put some effort into it. And yeah. So I had to put my cat out again. For I don't know if like I don't know if I mentioned it before. I had to put my cat out like probably like a month ago because he peed on my suit. Um, I felt bad. I let him back in, and one day last week I was doing laundry. I took the laundry out the dryer and I sat it on the couch and went to work. I came from work and I went to go fold my laundry, and my man's had peed on my laundry and let us clean. Homie got food, water. He got like a little cat house and everything. He got a cat bed. Like he's living well. Had to go. He had to get out. He peed on my clothes. Like that's fool me once. Let me say fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, no. You gotta get out. You gotta get out. So he don't go here no more. And I'm looking for a new cat or some kittens because I like to have a cat, especially the neighborhood that I live in. Um, if you know, you know. But yeah, he had to go. He had to go. Uh, Philly was wild this week, y'all. I know everybody saw it. That judge dropped the charges on the cop officer former officer Mark Dow. I seen the video. I know you seen the video. My mama seen the video. Like everyone's seen this video. This guy, he killed this kid in cold blood. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what my cop friends say. There was no reason for him to shoot that man 7 times. And kind of found out that he had a knife in the car or whatever. But originally he lied and said that he charged at him with the knife. Obviously, thank God for body cam footage. So I was reading a report that said that the department already knew that he was lying, and because he was refusing to cooperate with their investigation. So they knew about that. Obviously didn't say anything, didn't release anything, and then the video drops. I think 6 days later, they released it to the public, and then that's when they like, all right, charges gonna be filed or whatever, and they did the whole thing. But my problem is they knew the whole time that he lied, and just didn't do anything till the footage was released. And I feel like that's corny because like regular people, like regular citizens, if someone go and say I shot somebody, they gonna come in and lock me up, and I gotta sit until I prove that I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And I mean immediately, it ain't no real investigation. He did what to you? Let's go get him. Let's get a warrant. Let's get him in the system. And I just feel like cops get so much leeway, man. And you've seen it all over the country. It's been going on forever. But I remember last summer, the guy that they shot the guy out in West Philly. And I think his family got some money for that, but that money doesn't replace the person y'all just took from you. And I saw that video. That video was a little different. He charged at them with a knife, but it was overkill. They shot him like 7, 8 times. I felt like they could have shot that man once in each leg or something. He'd have fell to the ground and they could have got the knife off. It was other ways to go about it, but they didn't. They killed him. And I have cop friends that do tell me that they aren't trained. Like their training isn't to shoot with the leg. Their training is to shoot to kill, like in the torso area. So I take that into account as well. But if he'd have shot him once in the chest and he'd have died, then I still would have said it was okay. But it would that's when you can use like the training thing. But like 7 times, you don't have to shoot nobody 7 times, man. If someone break in my house right now and I shoot them 7 times, they're gonna take me in and they're gonna tell me that they're gonna find a way to charge me or say that it was overkill, or I'll be able to get sued by the family or something like that. It's gonna be something strange. But it just seems like when you're a cop, you get so much like wiggle room. It's no coincidence that the commissioner retired. I think it was her name, Commissioner Outlaw or whatever. She got the fuck up out of here. She saw like shit was about to hit the fan. I'm pretty sure she had a rough job, man. Like anybody that's a commissioner here or even like mayor, any type of leadership, it's so much shit that goes on in Philly. But I also think it's stuff that they could do. Like you could really increase the police presence. I know they're like low on cops or whatever, but then raise the salary. Because I think they start you at like $55,000 a year. I'm not risking my life for $55,000 a year. I'm just not. Cops should definitely get paid 6 figures. Anybody that's risking their life, firefighters, cops, military, they should be getting paid 6 figures a year. One thing I do know is like the cops in Philly, they can be a little aggressive. I've had 2 experiences. One was good, one was bad. So I'll give you a good one first. I was coming from a Christmas party and I was like in front of my house, like just looking for parking on my block. And I got pulled over because the car I was in, I had just bought it. And so the tags were still coming up in the system as my old car, but it still was in my name. So when he ran, like when I showed him the pink slip, whatever, he was cool about it. Now, he could have pulled me over. He could have took the car. He could have actually locked me up because I was coming from a Christmas party. So obviously, if he did probably give me a breathalyzer, I may or may not have passed. I don't know. But it was an older cop. He was actually pretty cool about it. He was pretty chill. Now, my second experience with a black cop, I don't know what was going on that day with this guy. I was in the wrong because I ran a stop sign. But he could have just pulled me over and gave me the ticket. And we could have went our own ways. He wanted me to take my stickers on my car. He told me my stickers was fake. Told me that my car was stolen. All kinds of stuff. And I was like, "What? The car is stolen? Then you should take me out of the car." And it's got to a certain point. I was like, "Just give me the fucking ticket." And then he just left. He was like, "Oh, someone got shot around the corner. I gotta go." It was just like you was fucking with me because you felt like you were fucking. You was having a bad day, and you was taking out on me, and that happens a lot. I see that a lot. I see not just with me. I've seen like walking in the street. People I know just getting harassed by cops. And like y'all spend all this time fucking with like people that ain't doing nothing. But like the real criminals is just doing whatever the hell they want. I know it's a hard job. That I do know. I know it's a hard job and a stressful job and it's not safe. But y'all chose that job. Y'all did. Nobody made y'all do that. Nobody made you, sign up to be a cop. I also read that the judge that presided over the case was defended by a lawyer that represented the law firm that represents the cop that killed the guy, which I found to be a little sketchy. I don't know how sketchy yet because I haven't seen anything beyond that, like anything else get released, but I did feel like that was sketchy. And of course, afterwards, the district attorney, he refiled charges and whatever. But the district attorney we got, he asked, like, I think anytime that someone goes from being a defense attorney to being a district attorney, like, nothing good was going to come from that. Like, nothing good was going to come from that. And I remember when he got the job, when he got voted in, I was just like, this shit is about to get dark. And it is. Like, he's putting a lot of people back on the street, even during the pandemic. They were releasing people from prison that should not have been released. And then the aftermath of all this led to the looting. All week long, people are still looting. It is, what is it, Sunday right now? People are still looting. I'm still seeing videos of people breaking into dollar stores and all kinds of shit. Um, they tore the city up, man. So far, 60 people got arrested the last time. 60 people got arrested the last time I checked. Um, I'll say this. I know, like, most of the people, 95%, probably the whole 100% of people that are looting, they don't give a fuck about what's going on with this cop and the guy Eddie Irizarry and how he got killed. I'm pretty sure they don't. They're just using this opportunity to, like, get over and to, like, take shit or whatever. However, with that being said, I don't feel bad for none of these big businesses, your Targets, your Walmarts, and them big ass stores that's insured and they got all that bailout money during the pandemic. And of course, they don't come into our communities and do anything. They don't feed nobody. They're not giving out coats. They're not building playgrounds. They're not building schools and none of that. But they want you to come spend your money with them. I don't feel bad for none of them at all. You know, mom and pop shops, please leave them alone. Like, I'm not a fan of none of that. Like, don't, because the mom and pop ones, there's actually hardworking people that live in the neighborhood that are like just trying to make a living. But yeah, them big, I don't feel bad for them at all. I'm not saying, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying go do nothing. I don't, no, none of that. But I don't feel bad for them. Something else that I thought was really funny. So I went the night that the looting started. Of course, I didn't know. I was coming out of work, so I had to pick up some stuff from Target. Mainly, I needed some detergent. So I pull up, and they got like the carts up on the door, so you can't get in. And then like it's fucking SWAT in the parking lot, and I'm like I had just worked all day, so I'm a little oblivious. And I get there and I ask the officer, I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "They closed early. They breaking in the stores and." He like, everything's closed right now. And it was only like 9:30. He's like, yeah, Target's closed, the Walmart up the street was closed, Home Depot's closed. And I'm just like, I just want some detergent. Like, what's going on? And I found it funny that they're able to, at least for about a week straight, pay cops to be out on overtime and SWAT or whatever the fuck was out there to just stand next to businesses, to stand on the property and make sure that the businesses aren't touched. And if I'm ever able to find the numbers, I will show y'all. But I want to know how much that shit costs for the 5 days. And then I want to know why they can't do that in like neighborhoods where shootings are high, murder is high, rape is high, drugs is high. Why you guys can't do that? And to me, the answer is just that they care more about protecting money than people, because you know the businesses obviously generate money. People killing people, especially our people. If we're killing each other, they don't really care about that. I just feel like the energy got to be the same for like where the real violence is taking place in the communities. People getting shot every day, like every day. And something else, I saw a few people that looted and was getting arrested for looting. The guy Stephen Kill, I follow him on Twitter, so he put everybody's business out there. He was showing like the people that was getting arrested and that was for looting that were out for like serious fucking crimes, murder, attempted murder. The list goes on. Like, why are these people on the fucking street? I'm sorry, and I don't want anyone to ever be like innocent or something and be in jail for it, but we are in the middle of like complete chaos in the city. Every year it's a new murder record. Like every year there's a new shooting record. It's just someone get arrested for murder. It's no reason they should ever get bail. Murder and rape, I think that's probably the two you shouldn't get bail for. Like seriously, it makes no sense because this obviously let this guy out and then he went and committed another crime. Even though looting is not like it's a crime, but it's not obviously a heinous, as heinous as murder or whatever. But it's fucking ridiculous, and I just feel like I don't know. I feel like they could have handled it, but they could just do a better job. I'm not trying to offend no cops or anything like that, but I just think that the city does a terrible job of protecting its people and keeping these neighborhoods safe. Because you know exactly what the problems is. So today, let me get to what I wanted to talk about. Today I'm going to talk. Well, I'm gonna play this interview. So I was listening to the Tyler Perry interview that like went viral, and everybody was on Twitter and Instagram going crazy over. Where he was just basically talking about how, if a man can only pay the light bill, but if he loves you and he takes care of you, that should be enough. And people were just going insane. So I'm about to play it for y'all.
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man, and is good to you, and honors the house, and honors his wife, and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you pay the light bill, babe, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody to, who is, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, well, don't keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Don't keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
So Twitter, and mostly Twitter, but Instagram and Twitter, it was like people was on there going crazy behind what he said. And of course, the first thing I saw a lot of women doing is, oh, don't listen to a man that wears a dress. And I'm just like, I hate how, so it's crazy that whenever someone like says something that like is on the nose, the first thing people do is they get defensive and they start to like attack what the other person does. But so obviously he didn't mean just pay the light bill. He used it as an example. But like, does money equate to love? Like, what's more important? You wanna be with somebody who you like and they got a lot of money, or be somebody that you actually love and can have a life with, and they don't have the money you want? You know what I mean? And I get it. Trust me, I get it. We like are living in an era where everything is fucking expensive, and kids are expensive. Food is expensive. Chicken is like $5 a pound. A pack of lunch meat is like $12. Like, I understand it. I really do. But I feel like everyone should be dating the person for who they are and not the money. If I dated for money, I wouldn't have dated probably most of the people that I did date, or at least half. Because if I'm looking at, you got to make what I make, or you got to be exact. You know what I mean? That's kind of like me saying like, because if I got an 800 credit score, you got to have an 800 credit score. Maybe they just not there yet. You know what I mean? And maybe you just got to give them some time. And I get some of us are at an age where we don't have time to give people time, and that's okay. But people were really upset about what he said, as if he like was attacking black people, black women, and I don't think he was. I think he was genuinely. It's just like if the roles was reversed. And why do we look so much at what people bring to the table financially instead of like their actual characteristics? Like you said, does he love him? Does he honor you? Does he respect you? Is he opening doors for you? You know what I mean? Does this man rub your feet at night? Does he listen to your problems? Does he feel like home? And that's both ways. That's for the wife and the husband, or the boyfriend or girl, however it goes. I think like that's what we should be looking at. Instead of, yeah, I get it. You want your partner to make money and to be able to generate income. I fully understand that. But I think there are other things that are more important. Like if your partner is a good person, are they empathetic? Is the girl I'm dating a good mother? Can she be a good mother? You know what I mean? It's such a double standard here because women show up to these relationships absolutely broke all the time, broke or broken. And again, I'm not attacking any women right now. What I'm saying is what I see. And men show up that way too as well, but I'm focused on this because it's a true double standard. And I teach, like my daughters, I teach my kids to always be able to take care of themselves. That way they don't have to rely on anybody. That way if anything, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, whoever you're with when you become an adult, whoever you're with, whatever they bring is extra. And when they leave, they don't put you in a situation where you can't take care of yourself. And I see that a lot. I've dated people that once I left, they couldn't handle their situation because of what I may have been bringing to the table or providing, or being a good boyfriend, whatever it is. I know women that are good friends of mine that once their husband or boyfriend left them, baby dad, whatever you want to call them, they were struggling because they were relying on their partner. And I just think if everyone shows up with their own shit, one, I think it takes like the controlling aspect of the relationship, like that part where people try to control you, what they do for you and provide, it takes that away automatically. Because if you could take care of yourself when I show up, I could never like hold it over your head and vice versa. But women show up all the time with kids with no dads, bad credit, cars that need the oil change, show up with that slow leaking tire in the back. I've seen it, and I get it. These are probably things that like they quote unquote they would say a man should be doing, but I'm not changing nobody oil. I'll take your car to get the oil changed, but I'm not changing your oil. But these are the things that women aren't aware of, and I'm being funny, but it's a real thing. It's just like men showing up and not knowing how to do certain things. I'm pretty sure I've shown up to relationships completely unorganized. I'm not a very organized person, and that probably can be annoying. But I have like that, but I'm different. I have an understanding that everybody isn't perfect. I just think that social media teaches us to look at the wrong shit, and it drives a wedge between black women and black men. And then we're like arguing and fighting about shit that isn't even our problem. It's not, because this really isn't, what he's talking about isn't a regular people problem. This isn't, we make regular money. Everybody, for the most part, that I follow or I know in real life, everybody's making regular people money. Nobody's making billions and millions of dollars. And if you is, I don't know nothing about it. But this is not, this is more, I think he's talking more about like his people that are in his tax bracket. Because the higher up you go, there actually is more black women making like over $100,000 or over $200,000 a year than it is black men. And it's a low percentage difference, but you talking money, it actually turns out to be a lot. I got some numbers. So the average salary for a black woman is $36,000 a year. The average salary for a black man is $43,000 a year. So that's a $7,000 difference. Even if an average black man and an average black woman get together, that's not even $100,000 in a house. That is $76,000 a year if you're lucky. I also got it by age. Between the ages of 20 and 29, women make $19.2 thousand a year. Men, $25,000 a year. Between the ages of 30 and 39, women make $31.4 thousand a year. Men, $41.6 thousand a year. Still, together, it's not $100,000, Between 40 and 49, women make on average $38,700 a year. Men make 51. Getting close to it, but you're still off by almost $10,000. Between 50 and 59, women make 42.6, and men make 47. So obviously, the average black man, black woman is not making $100,000 a year. And I just use that number only because that's where it actually changes. And quick story. I have a friend who does. She's in a profession where she makes a lot of money. I don't want to tell her business, but she told me, she's like, Ryan, yeah, I'm not dating anyone that doesn't make at least $100,000 a year. Her, I respect it because she generates that kind of money. So you're saying I need you to reciprocate what I bring to the table, and that makes sense. Like, that makes sense. I don't think it's ideal, but it makes sense. And that leads me to only 8% of black men make over $100,000 a year. 8% of black men make $100,000 a year in the United States. 11% of black women make over $100,000 a year. Oh no, I'm sorry. I couldn't find the black women. So 11% of women as a whole make over $100,000 a year. 22% of black households bring in $100,000 a year. So those are all low numbers. People have realistic expectations when you're going into these relationships and when you're dating and when you're trying to find someone, on your level. I'm not saying definitely have requirements, have expectations and stuff, but just they got to be realistic. I would be a fool to be like, oh, I want a woman that brings in $150,000 a year. Fuck, am I dating a senator? Like, it's just, there's not a lot of people out here making that kind of money. Regular people that are accessible to us. You're looking at like people like celebrities, people that got fucking security. And of course, everyone has the right to want what they want, but it can be realistic. And I fully understand because it's easy to get in a place where like you're tired, and I'm 37, so obviously I've dated a lot of people, and I've been around a while, so you see people in different forms and different types of people and what they bring to the table and what they don't, or their characteristics, so you're like, you get to a point where you're sick of bullshit. So now it's just like, if I don't gotta tolerate the bullshit, obviously, or then you gotta bring money. Like, that's really what I hear a lot of women say. I talk to my sister about it all the time, and she says that. She's like, yeah, like, these niggas be coming with bullshit, and so are you at least bring money? Cause she like, I got it. Like, I'm cool. I feel like you can't demand what you can't command to yourself. You can't ask someone to be a high earner if you're not a high earner. You can't ask someone to be a Christian if you're not a Christian. You can't ask someone to be in top physical shape if you're not in top physical shape. I hear that's another one I hear a lot too. I'm not gonna get too far in it because I don't want to offend nobody. And again, my biggest thing is just, you gotta understand that what you may want may not be what God has for you. Like this year, my grandma used to always say, she like you make plans, but then God laughs. The older I get, the more I understand that, because I'm always like making plans and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and something totally different comes down my path. So, just understanding that, I think for our community, I just want everyone to understand like that it's not realistic. It's okay to want a certain thing, but it's not realistic that people are gonna make like a ridiculous amount of money. Because again, we're all regular people. We all making regular money. And again, I don't think Tyler Perry was attacking like black people or black women. I just think he saying the same thing. You gotta be like realistic. There are more high earning black women than there are high earning black men. That is a fact. Like that is just what it is. So more than likely, but what's crazy is when you, as you've seen, when you go lower, when you go to the lower tier, there are more lower tier earning black men than there are lower tier earning black women. So we just gotta find a median and somewhere in between. I just hope whoever I end up marrying is just a nice person. They're gonna take care of me and hopefully, you know, they can iron and shit like that. But I don't really, I've never, I probably should have. But when I dated, I never like really worried about what the other person's make. But I did have an ex that just never, like financially, never had it, like at all. Always late on bills, always late on everything, like gas tank never full, like, you know what I mean? It's just certain things like that you see, you just like become a turn off. And I'm pretty sure for women, there's certain things like that. Women, you would, you know, every time you go to a dude's house and you see whatever, he got a late bill, like that's, you know, it's a little alarming. My message for today, I got 2 messages for today. My first message, because somebody pissed me off this week. Stop asking me for advice if you're not going to listen to me. Like, I really hate when people call me and they like, hey, how should I do this? Or what should I do about this? And I tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? Especially if it's something like that I've dealt with firsthand and you don't fucking listen. Don't call me for advice then. Because you wasting my time. I feel like you're playing in my face. So please don't do that. Also, because I had a friend of mine reach out to me, a really good friend of mine. She was going through some stuff and we talked and everything. I'm actually going to text her tomorrow to check on her. But just if you're going through anything and you feel like you cannot handle, you overwhelmed, talk to somebody. Pick the phone up, text somebody, call somebody. Take a break. Do what you need to do for you. You know, and that's just period. Because this is the last day of Suicide Prevention Month. So I just think it's so easy to like feel like you're alone and you have no one to call, and you know, because you get in a space where you're just like, that's how you feel mentally. But you can always pick the phone up and call somebody. I tell people all the time, you can call me, especially like the people that that are close to me. I tell you, call me any time of the night, text, whatever. I'll answer. I'll pick the phone up. But yeah, if you feel overwhelmed out there, just take a break. Like really, just take a break. I take breaks all the time. If some days we ain't got it. Some days we just don't have like what's needed to get through the day, and that's okay. But recognize that, address it. That way, it doesn't lead down a different path. And today I am plugging my brother, my boy, Chef Ricky. He is the neighborhood chef. You can find Rick at The Chef Ricky. That's THECHEFRICKEY. Rick catered Daddy's Sweet 16. He did some stuff at my mom's party. And again, he's a neighborhood chef. Everybody know him. His food is outstanding. And it's also, somebody I grew up with. He's a brother, you know. So yeah, please remember to rate, review, like, subscribe. It's a short episode today. Until next time, peace.